Hello and welcome back to the channel of Shiny Headed Nonsense and the 2025 BMW F900R. And this bike is a prime example, I think, of why you shouldn't judge your impressions of a bike based on a short test ride, because when I rode this for my first ride video, it's fair to say it left me feeling flatter than an Xbox controller next to the wreckage of the Titanic. But since then I've ridden it a lot of the cameras off and it's really come alive and shown me some sparkle. But anyway, in this video I'm going to compare it to its biggest rival, the Triumph Street Triple R, and just judge it on its own merits. Let's get cracking before I actually turn into a bald tomato. Hang on, you don't get hairy ones, do you? Maybe you do get hairy tomatoes. Another thing I've learned since doing my first ride of this bike is the price isn't quite what it seems. The list price is just over £9,000, but then obviously there are options that you're going to need to add if you want a quick shift, if you want the dynamic rear shock and all that. So basically that takes it to a 10.5 grand bike, which is about 300 quid more than a basic Triumph Street Triple R. However, at the moment, the bluebells are out, and so are the BMW Motorrad PCP deals, the finance deals. At the moment, you can actually get one of these for 90 quid a month with just a £900 deposit, and that's 0% as well. You have to pay 4.5 grand at the end if you want to keep it, but compared to a Triumph Street Triple, that's basically 1,100 quid less deposit than Triumph wants, and even then, the Street Triple is 120 quid a month. But anyway, enough money numbers, let's talk about the actual bike. So for your 90 quid a month from 2025, you're getting quite an updated bike compared to last year. You've got slightly new looks. It now has cornering ABS, it has a more adjustable front fork, and the ergonomics have been redesigned as well. Your feet are higher and further back, putting a bit more weight on the wrists as well. You've also got some other detail changes, namely, didn't look at my phone, cornering ABS, and it's 3 kilos lighter as well, thanks to lighter wheels and a lighter battery. But I'm going to hop on it and show you what it looks like with a 6'3" OFOM, because as I always say about motorbikes, if you don't fit them, they're crap. Yes, it's time for my least favourite camera angle of the whole review. I think it was more flattering that time I accidentally dropped my streaming GoPro into the toilet bowl. But anyway, this is what I look like on it. I'm 6'3". I fit on it. It doesn't feel too small. Now, the seat height's 815 millimeters as standard. There is a lower accessory seat which takes it down to 790 mil, or a higher one that takes it up to 835. But yeah, I really like the riding position on this. It's not too upright, nor is it too leant over. It's kind of that Goldilocks zone in the middle. Now, this colour, it's called Snapper Rocks Blue, and if you're a car nerd, you'll know, of course, that was one of the launch colours for the previous generation BMW 4 Series Coupe. It's quite a nice colour, it's not grey or black. The engine is the same as before. It's a 270-degree parallel twin. It's 895cc, I think. Yes, 895cc, I do know what I'm talking about. Still 105 horsepower, 93 newton meters of torque at 6,750 RPM. So compared to a Street Triple, it's about 15 horsepower down, but it is about 10 to 15 newton meters of torque up. However, the whole bike weighs about 15 kilos more than the Triumph. It does feel a bit weighty at a standstill. But anyway, that is made in China, the engine. So yes, get in the comments now and tell me how that's a really bad thing, bringing you a bike at 9 grand. Oh, and you can also whinge about the fact it's only got a 13 litre fuel tank, which does give you a real world range of about 140 miles, but I know some of you will not find that enough. And you will be shot somewhere in the countryside where you've run out of fuel. Right, we are going to hop on and ride it in a second, but I just want to talk about the options that you can get on this bike. So for 585 quid, you get the comfort pack. I think that's vital. It adds heated grips, cruise control, and keyless ride with a keyless fuel cap as well. Then there's 830 quid for the dynamic pack, which gives you the up and down quick shifter and the semi-active rear shock. So that's why I say, really, this is a 10.5 grand bike. You get BMW's predictably brilliant dashboard, which has got a fuel gauge, range readout, MPG, tyre pressure monitoring stuff all hooked into that as well. And you control it using that wheel there. This is the button for switching the rear shock between dynamic and road settings. There's your cruise control, indicators, heated grips, and riding mode selector there. It's all dead straightforward. It's dead easy to use. And then when you turn the bike off, then you can pop that open to put more petrol in. Okay, that's a quick walk around of the F900R. I'm going to hop on it now because frankly I need the air to flow through my lovely brown mesh. Otherwise I'm going to turn into a bald, burnt thing. Right, you turn the F900R on by pressing the button, and then it does come on. You can just about see that. Clutch in, Fire her up, let's go. And yeah, it's got a little bit of a bassy rumble to it, which I quite like. Pegs reasonably high and far back, but not too bad. As I said, it's just a lovely riding position. Now, before I actually start riding, I apologise in advance if this GoPro segment looks like absolute arse. YouTube is doing something horrible to all of my GoPro footage at the moment. With its bit rates, it's looking all blocky and horrible, but hopefully I've fixed it and hopefully this looks okay. But anyway, this bike still catches me out every time I accelerate in Dynamic Pro. It is not a pussycat if you've got it in Dynamic Pro. It just, look, like 2000 RPM. It just absolutely flies. And if you put it in normal mode, let's do it in normal mode. Road mode, sorry, is what it's called. It is easy to ride. It's big softy, and if it's your first big bike, you're not going to get caught out by it. But you've got the option to stick it in Dynamic Pro when you grow up a bit or grow down a bit and have some fun. But yeah, ergonomically, it's a very comfortable bike. The only niggle being that this standard seat does make my body sore after an hour or so, and obviously you can slow down the rate of body soreness. Hey, he's doing a wee. Oh no, it's just doing a walk. You can slow down your body soreness by putting the rear shock into road or dynamic mode, and that's part of the dynamic pack, but it only affects the rear shock. It doesn't automatically twiddle your fork legs or any of the fork adjustment. But out of the box in road mode, this is exactly where I need it to be honest. Actually, I need to be over here because there's a big bloody tractor coming. Look, I'm doing the tet, mum. I'm adventuring. It's my friendly local farmer. And you do get a bit of airbox honk at about 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, but it's not as good a sounding engine, I don't think, as things like Yamaha CP2 engine or the Street Triples 765cc triple. Other very boring things to note: the mirrors are pretty good, albeit typical BMW, they're not that big, and also the indicator switch is small and doesn't have a lot of give in it, so you do sometimes have to, if you're wearing winter gloves, a bit fumbly. But in these summer ones it is okay. But anyway, I'm going to head to some slightly faster roads now so I can show you this bike's fun side, because it does have one, despite what I said the other day. Nothing happening, nothing happening. Right, just quickly on the way to our fun roads, I'll show you what it's like at 70. We've got lots of wind blast, but it's not bad, it's just naked bike things. It's a bit of a windy day today, so you might be struggling to hear me, but look, cruise control, that works down to below 30 miles an hour, got my heated grips, and because I'm going forward a bit, not sat completely bolt upright, it's okay. I prefer being a bit bent forward at motorway speeds. I find if I sit back upright, I'm just on my tailbone and it's not very comfortable. Would I tour on it? Yeah, probably. I think you can tour on anything. But anyway, let's get to twisty roads and show you why I think this bike is actually a bit underrated, most of all by me. Honk. So now we're on something a bit twistier. Talk about the dynamics of this bike a little bit. The brakes, for a start, are really good. They're really strong. Brembo radial calipers, 2 fingers all day long, and they really slow you down quickly. The up and down quick shifter blipper works really well, even at low speeds. There's not much action in the actual lever itself, so it's a bit like you're trying to, I don't know, move a millipede with a sledgehammer or something like that. But really, as we'll find out in the road, it gets a bit twistier in a minute. This does just have a slightly steadier attitude than something like a Street Triple or an MT-09, which are both really just sportier bikes than this in terms of the actual flickability. They feel more like nimble sports bikes. This feels like a built from the ground up naked bike, even though, yes, I know it is just based on the F900XR upright tourer thing. They're doing different things, to be honest. But lots of people in the comments of my first ride video have been comparing them, so yeah, let's go and see what it's like. Now this bike is on Maxxis tyres. I think they're at Maxxis Super Sport or something like that. Super Sport Max, Max Sport. They're fine. I've not had any moments, but I've not ridden it in the wet, and I've not really pushed it because I've just been riding on the road. They warm up fairly quickly. As I said, it's got quite a neutral roll from side to side, but for me, it's this bike's mid-range shove that really deserves some recognition. It is such a gutsy engine. Yes, it's down on its rivals on horsepower, but the way this delivers its torque, especially in Dynamic Pro, on corner exit, is kind of eye-opening, to be honest. It is pretty blooming fast at real-world road speeds. It's not hunting down lap times. It's just got a nice linear shove that is useful. It's useful, and if you're in a low gear over crests, exciting. Yeah, I said it. I said the E word, not eczema. Doesn't give you a rash. Speed rash. But I came down this road the other day with the cameras well and truly off, and had such a laugh. I can't really show you now. It's too busy, and I like having a license. But it's a fun B-road blaster. It's very sure-footed feeling. Backed up by that engine, it feels like a sensible naked bike. It feels like a middleweight naked bike that BMW would make, and hey, guess what? That is exactly what it is. I pulled in here after doing some up and downs of this road the other day, and the tyres smelt like a burning condom factory, and I felt good about myself. Blip, accelerate. And now, this year you've got cornering ABS as well, so you've got all the safety nets. So yes, it is a fun bike to ride when you start pushing it, but most of the time it's very happy just kind of doddering around, getting 55 miles per gallon, doing 140, 150 miles to a tank in comfort with cruise control and heated grips. The only thing it doesn't have is a tinted visor for me. This helmet, this new Shark Aeron, did come with one, but it's basically like welding glass and it's not legal anywhere. It's fast, it's fast. But anyway, let's go and do a conclusion. So you might have guessed I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the new F900R. Now, compared to a street triple, it is noticeably heavier, certainly at low speeds when you're pushing it around, and it is less agile out on the move, but it feels more stable in the corners. When you're leant over, it's just got a rock solid feeling that the Triumph doesn't really get. So really, whether you prefer this or the Triumph comes down to whether you like triples or punchy twins, and whether you like sure-footed steady handling or slightly flighty, a bit more nimble feeling handling. But this is still a brilliant B-road blaster. Now, would I tour on it? Yes, you can tour on anything. It's got a pillion seat so you can strap luggage to it, and it's got heated grips and cruise control. It's got all the BMW brilliant basics there. And yeah, the only thing I don't really like about it is the engine's a bit forgettable. It's not as soulful sounding as the Triumphs. And again, that weight when you're moving it around just feels like it's coming from a different era to the Triumph. But it's still a lot of fun. I love the torque. I love the fact that it will let you do little things like that out of corners, especially with a bit of clutch abuse. It's just a bit more fun than I thought it was going to be. So I'm really impressed. I'm going to give it 8 Tim Roadies out of 10. Now, thank you for watching this video. If you've liked it, if you've got other bikes you want me to review in my slightly boring style, let me know down in the comments and I will do my best, just like your mum did. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time, and tell me how much you would rather have a Triumph. Ciao.